Okay. Last night, Shanghai night. Remember that video? I think we landed on the restaurant. Shanghai night. And I shot the sign. It was the end of my journey. From my place to theirs. And as I shot the sign at the top of the restaurant, the manager came in. I quite like him. I said, I've got a YouTube channel. Can I shoot making the dumplings? And he said, not their faces, only their hands. So fair enough. No worries. And then I ordered my pork fried dumplings, which I gotta say, my review, totally vile. Like full of monosodium glutamate, too much salt, other, who knows what was in the spice. But it was too salty. It was rough, and it wasn't worth $12.90. I ate 3 of them. So, while I'm waiting for my pieces of shit fried dumplings, which, you know, it's like the Chinese version. Have you know the Greeks have their souvlaki and they layer up all the lamb and they let it sit on a spit and go round and round and round all day. And you know, you walk into that shop and that lamb on a spit is just, you know, threatening you with food poisoning. It doesn't have to say a word, it just has to sizzle in a very tired way. Which is what happens if you buy a lamb souvlaki at the end of the day. It's probably like a window, you know, there's a window of, you know, fantasticness, where it's just perfect. And they slice it off and, whew, you know. But for the rest of, you know, the other hours, tick, 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 it just gets more and more rancid. Well, I sort of feel the same way about these dumplings. But anyway, I digress. There was like a young, he's almost dressed like this. Like, he's not Japanese, right? He's Chinese. And I do know the difference because I lived in Japan for a year, and during that time I was studying Kyogen theatre, and my Kyogen teacher, Don Kenny, he was working with his partner, and they had a Kyogen theatre school, and he translated Mishima plays into English. So that's how I know about Mishima. Where were we? Oh yeah, okay. Last night, Shanghai night. So behind the counter, and I can't film him, even though he looks fabulous. He looks like a Chinese sort of version of Mishima, right? But he's wearing this sort of, I don't know, this sort of t-shirt with cartoons and stuff all over it, and it's got black magic, right, on the bottom of it. And I see that, and he's got this long sort of, must be like a Chinese apron, you know, like, wow. It's quite, kakui, as they'd say in Japan, which means style. Very cool. And he was like a cross between sort of Mishima and the Buffalo Girls. Buffalo Girls Gone Round the Outside. And you've got to be in the 80s to remember that one. But anyway. And he had this little skinny ponytail. And he had a headband. Not like that, but, you know, another sort of headband. And he was young, and he wasn't just the waiter man. He was getting ready to inherit the Shanghai Night. He was, and I so wanted to video him because he looked so cool. But the owner-manager told me I wasn't allowed to, so, you know, his premises. Unless you've kidnapped my mother, I respect that. So, you know, finally, this young Chinese Mishima sort of character hands me my dumplings, and I say, "I love your style. It's exquisite. It's brilliant." And he says, "Thank you," in an Australian accent. And on the way home, I get hungry, and I eat one of the dumplings, and it covered my hand with all the juice, but I hadn't eaten all day, so I was really hungry. So I just licked the juice off my fingers, and I think it was somewhere in that, I don't know, somewhere between the block of the village and the block of the police signs, I dropped my phone. I've gone back tonight and I've checked every spot that I went to, and it wasn't there. So the only thing I can think of was that I somehow dropped it on the street accidentally, maybe when I was eating the dumpling. I did quite a bit of detective work tonight, and that's my conclusion. And that story reminds me of another story. A story I've already written right back on July 12th, 2009. My host has gone to stay with his girlfriend, and I'm holding the fort in the middle of nowhere. I'm an hour from food, and my bum is still bruised from the last ride on the bicycle. It looks like it's going to rain, but I'm going to have to brave it if I want to eat tonight. Last night I was so hungry, I took a drive with 2 alcoholics to eat mud crabs. It wasn't until we were speeding up a dark road that I realised should I find myself in a hostage situation, I would never be able to find my way home. The car is Lizzie's. The driver is the local hobo. He's telling me I'm safe because he ran over a kid at 17 and killed him, and you only do that once in a lifetime. Oh, terrific. I lose my appetite. He and Lizzie have been drinking non-stop for 2 days. I can't believe I'm in the back seat with them. I must be crazy. I say a prayer I'll live to write this blog, but there is no God up here, and nobody can hear anything over Lizzie's endless bickering. The hobo keeps telling her to shut the fuck up.